Hello students, uh, welcome to another video on crystal structure. This is Dr. Srinivas Keshatty. In the previous videos, we have studied some basic things about the crystal structure. In the previous videos, we have studied what is meant by crystal structure, what is the purpose of crystal structure, what is crystal lattice, translation vectors, then unit cell, different types of unit cell, primitive unit cell, non-primitive unit cell, then Wigner and Cis cell, and what is meant by basis. So, in today's lecture we are going to study what is meant by symmetry operations. So, the meaning of symmetry operations or symmetry in a dictionary, what we find is that it is the quality of being made up of exactly similar parts. It is the quality of being made up of exactly similar parts facing each other or around the axis. That similar parts are facing each other or around the axis. So, another meaning of it is regularity. Simple example of symmetry is our face or our body. Our body can be divided into two exactly similar parts which are mirror images of each other by a plane. We can divide our body by a plane which are mirror images of each other, isn't it? Similarly, if we find our ears, isn't it? So, there is a rotation symmetry, isn't it? So, we have got a reflection symmetry in our body or a rotation symmetry in our face, isn't it? So, there are two ears on both sides of our head, isn't it, which are repeated after a rotation of 180 degrees. So, we find there is a rotation symmetry in our face, there is a reflection symmetry in our body, isn't it? So, this is how we can find out the symmetry in different objects in the nature. In case of crystals, we will find what are the types of symmetries that we observe, isn't it? So, let us define what is a symmetry operation. A symmetry operation is one which transforms crystal into itself. So, a symmetry operation transforms the crystals into itself. That is, crystals remain invariant under symmetry operation, isn't it? Under symmetry operation, there is no change. Crystals remain invariant under symmetry operations. In case of crystals, the symmetry operations are translation, rotation, reflection, and inversion. Four types of symmetry operations are found in case of crystals. First is translation, then rotation, then reflection, then inversion. The translation operation applies to lattices only, whereas all the remaining operations and their combinations. Remaining operations means rotation, reflection, and inversion. Their combination means rotation, reflection, or rotation, reflection, inversion, or rotation, inversion, this type of combinations. The translation operation applies to lattices, whereas rotation, reflection, and inversion operations and their combinations apply to objects. They are called point symmetry operations. So, these operations, rotation, reflection, and inversion and their combinations are called point symmetry operations. The inversion operation is applicable to three-dimensional crystal source. Inversion operation is found or applicable in three-dimensional crystals only. It cannot be found in two dimensions, isn't it? So, let us study these symmetry operations one by one. First is translation. This follows from orderly arrangement of atoms, isn't it? So, it means that a lattice point R under translation operation T gives another point R dash which is exactly similar to R, isn't it? So, it means that a lattice point R under translation operation T gives another point R dash, isn't it? And that point R dash is exactly similar to R, that is R dash is equal to R plus T, where T is equal to N1A plus N2B plus N3C. This is T is the translation operation, and N1, N2, N3 are the arbitrary numbers which may be integers or fractions, and A, B, C are fundamental translation vectors, isn't it? So, this is the translation symmetry, isn't it? Then let us proceed to understand what is the rotation symmetry. A lattice is said to possess rotation symmetry if rotation by angle theta about an axis transform the lattice into itself, isn't it? So, a lattice is said to possess rotation symmetry if rotating the lattice by certain amount, say theta, about an axis transform the lattice into itself, isn't it? It transforms the lattice into itself after a rotation through angle theta. Then we can say that the lattice is said to possess a rotation symmetry. Also, lattice is invariant by rotation through angle 2 pi. If you rotate the lattice through angle 2 pi or 360 degrees, we reach at the same place, isn't it? So, it is invariant. Lattice is invariant by rotation through angle 2 pi. The angle 2 pi must be integral multiple of theta, isn't it? So, after rotating 360 degrees, we reach at the same point. If a lattice possess a rotation symmetry after rotation through angle theta, then the angle 2 pi must be integral multiple of theta. Then we can write the relation like this: n theta is equal to 2 pi, or theta is equal to 2 pi by n, where n is an integer. The factor n takes integral values, isn't it? It is called multiplicity of rotation axis. N is called as multiplicity of rotation axis. The possible values of n which are compatible with translation symmetry are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, isn't it? So, which are the possible values of n which are compatible with translation symmetry are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. So, for example, if n is equal to 6, then from above equation, isn't it, 360 divided by 6, we get theta is equal to 60 degrees. Means the lattice repeats itself after an angle of 60 degrees. Such a rotation is shown in figure, isn't it? So, the 7 number in the figure given below, isn't it, shown on the lower side, is being repeated after an angle of 60 degrees, isn't it? So, this forms a regular hexagon. So, a regular hexagon is an example of such a lattice, isn't it? So, for theta is equal to 60 degrees, we get a regular hexagon, isn't it? So, theta n may take value 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. If n is equal to 4, 360 divided by 4, what we get? 90 degrees. What we get? It is 90 degrees. So, it is a square, isn't it? Lattice repeats itself after a rotation through 90 degrees. If n is equal to 3, then lattice repeats itself after a rotation through 120 degrees. If n is equal to 2, then 360 divided by 2, isn't it? We get theta to be equal to 180, isn't it? So lattice repeats itself after a rotation through 180 degrees, isn't it? So in this way, n takes different integral values which are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. So here we are not getting the integer 5, isn't it? So why we are not getting integer 5, we will study in detail, isn't it? Why 5-fold symmetry is not possible, because it is not compatible with the translation symmetry. So n is called as multiplicity of rotation axis. N is called multiplicity of rotation axis. The rotation corresponding to value of n is called n-fold symmetry. If the lattice is repeating after 360 degrees, we call n is equal to 1. So we call it as a one-fold symmetry. If the lattice is repeating after 180 degrees, then n is equal to 2. So we say that the lattice possesses a two-fold symmetry. If the lattice is repeating after 120 degrees, then n is equal to 3. Then we say that the lattice possesses three-fold symmetry. Similarly, if it repeats itself after a rotation through 90 degrees, then n is equal to 4. We say that the lattice possesses four-fold symmetry, isn't it? Then six-fold symmetry. If n is equal to 6, the lattice repeats itself after a rotation through 60 degrees. That we have seen in the previous figure, isn't it? So lattice is said to possess six-fold symmetry. The rotation corresponding to value of n is called as n-fold rotation. The two-dimensional square lattice has four-fold rotation, isn't it? As I have explained earlier, the two-dimensional square lattice has four-fold rotation symmetry. The lattice repeats itself after a rotation through 90 degrees. Five-fold rotation is not compatible with translation symmetry. So five-fold rotation is not possible, isn't it? Here five-fold rotation, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, n takes values 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, but not 5, because 5-fold rotation is not compatible with translation symmetry. So 5-fold rotation is not possible. Why it is not possible? Let us see from the above figure. Here let us consider a row of lattice points A, B, C and D, isn't it? So in figure, A, B, C and D are the lattice points and they possess a translation symmetry. So T is translation vector and lattice has a n-fold rotation symmetry, isn't it? So it is having a translation symmetry. Each lattice point is repeating after a distance of t, So the distance between AB, BC and CD is t, isn't it? And at the same time, the lattice is also possessing a rotation symmetry. It is also possessing a rotation symmetry, isn't it? Now rotation by angle theta is equal to 2 pi by n about points B and C in the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, isn't it? So if we rotate the lattice about point B and C through an angle theta, if AB is rotated in the clockwise direction through angle theta and CD is rotated in the anti-clockwise direction through angle theta, we get the lattice points B dash and C dash. We get the points B dash and C dash. So B dash and C dash are also lattice points here, isn't it? Now B dash B is equal to t and c dash c is equal to also t. Here b dash must be integral multiple of times bc, because it is possessing a translation symmetry. It is possessing a translation symmetry, isn't it? So I have written by pen bc is equal to t, isn't it, as it is possessing a translation symmetry. So x dash and x double dash is also equal to t. Here b angle c dash b dash b is equal to theta, isn't it, or b dash c dash c is also equal to theta, because c dash cd is angle theta and b dash ba is angle theta. Therefore angle c dash b dash b is theta and angle b dash c dash c is also angle theta, isn't it, and b dash b is equal to t, c dash c is equal to t. So rotation by angle theta is equal to 2 pi by n about points b and c in the clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. We get points b dash and c dash, which must be identical to b and c. These points b dash and c dash are identical to points b and c. Thus b dash and c dash are also lattice points and should follow lattice symmetry. These points b dash and c dash should also follow lattice symmetry. So b dash c dash must be some integral multiple of bc, isn't it? So b dash c dash must be some integral multiple times bc. Therefore we can write b dash c dash is m times bc. But b dash c dash, from the geometry of the figure, if you see the geometry of this figure, x dash b dash comes out to be t cos of theta, and x double dash c dash also comes out to be t cos of theta. Then b dash c dash is equal to t cos of theta plus t cos of theta, which is equal to t plus 2t cos of theta. It comes out to be 2t cos of theta plus t is equal to m into t, because bc is equal to t. So 2t cos of theta, b dash c dash is equal to 2t cos of theta plus t is equal to mt, or cos of theta is equal to m minus 1 divided by 2. You can cancel t throughout, isn't it? So cos of theta is equal to m minus 1 divided by 2, where m is an integer, m takes integer values. But we know the property of cos theta, since modulus of cos theta is less than or equal to 1, cos takes values from plus 1 to minus 1, or modulus of cos theta is always less than or equal to 1, isn't it? So in order to comply with these values, the allowed values of m are 3, 2, 1, 0 and minus 1. M can take only values which are 3, 2, 1, 0 and minus 1. It cannot take the values greater than 1 or less than minus 1. It can take only values 3, 2, 1, 0 and minus 1. If you take m to be equal to 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 by 2 is equal to 1 and a half, but cos of theta cannot take values 1 and a half, isn't it? So 4 is not possible. If you take the value m is equal to minus 2, then minus 2 minus 1 is equal to minus 3, minus 3 by 2 is equal to minus 1 and a half. So minus 1 and a half is also not possible. Cos cannot take values less than minus 1 or greater than plus 1, isn't it? Therefore the allowed values of m are 3, 2, 1, 0 and minus 1. these correspond to allowed values of theta. If m is equal to 3, if you substitute m is equal to 3 in the above equation, then 3 minus 1 is 2, 2 by 2 is 1, isn't it? So cos theta is equal to 1, means theta is equal to 0 or 360 degrees. Cos theta is equal to 1 when theta is equal to 0 or 360 degrees. Similarly, for m is equal to 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 2 minus 1 is 1 and 1 by 2. We get m is equal to 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 by 2. Cos of theta is equal to 1 by 2. For which value of theta, cos theta is 1 by 2, it is 60. So, the value of theta is 60 degrees. So, the lattice possesses a rotation, 6-fold rotation, isn't it? So, n is equal to 6 or n is equal to 6. Similarly, if m is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0, 0 by 2 is equal to 0, cos of theta is equal to 0, then theta is equal to 90. When cos of theta is equal to 0, when theta is equal to 90 degrees, isn't it? So, in this way, for m is equal to 1, isn't it? Theta is equal to 90 degrees. Similarly, for m is equal to 0, m is equal to 0, 0 minus 1 is minus 1, minus 1 by 2, cos of theta is equal to minus 1 by 2, then theta is equal to 120 degrees, isn't it? When cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2, theta is equal to 120 degrees. Similarly, for minus 1, m is equal to minus 1, minus 1 minus 1 is minus 2, minus 2 by 2 is equal to minus 2 divided by 2 is minus 1. So, cos of theta is equal to minus 1, theta is equal to 180 degrees respectively. So, in this way, hence the permissible values of n are 1, 6, 4, 3, 2, isn't it? So, for 360 degrees n is equal to 1, for 60 degrees n is equal to 6, for 90 degrees n is equal to 4, for 120 degrees n is equal to 3 and for 180 degrees n is equal to 2. So, and the permissible values of n which are compatible with translation symmetry are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. Therefore, 5-fold symmetry which is not compatible, 5-fold symmetry which is not compatible with translation symmetry, therefore it is not possible, isn't it? Thus, 5-fold rotation is not compatible with translation symmetry, so it is not permissible. Similarly, 7-fold rotation is also not permissible. 5-fold symmetry is not permissible, 7-fold symmetry is also not permissible. Figure shows the demonstration of non-existence of 5-fold rotation axis. In the figure, what we see that there are pentagons which possess a 5-fold symmetry. So, if you arrange these pentagons on side by side, isn't it? So, there come some gaps which are shown by some parallelograms, isn't it? Wide parallelograms. So, we cannot occupy a complete space with the help of pentagons, isn't it? So, if for example, if you want to lay pentagon types of tiles on your floor, isn't it? You cannot occupy the complete space with the pentagon type of tiles. There remain some gaps. There remain some gaps in the form of parallelograms, isn't it? So, which is the demonstration of non-existence of 5-fold rotation axis. So, 5-fold rotation axis is not compatible with translational symmetry, therefore five-fold symmetry is not possible. So this is what is meant by a rotation symmetry, isn't it? Then reflection symmetry. A lattice is said to possess reflection symmetry if there exists a line in two dimensions. A lattice is said to possess reflection symmetry if there exists a line in two dimensions or a plane in three dimensions which divides the lattice in two identical halves or parts which are mirror images of each other, isn't it? So in case of a two-dimensional lattice, if there exists a line which divides that lattice, which are mirror images of each other, or in case of three-dimensional lattice, if there exists a plane which divides that lattice into two identical parts which are mirror images of each other, then the lattice is said to possess a reflection symmetry, isn't it? So I have quoted an example of our face, isn't it? So if we can divide our face into two identical parts with the help of a plane, isn't it, which are mirror images of each other. Similarly, we can divide a two-dimensional lattice into two identical parts with the help of a line. So that two-dimensional lattice is said to possess a reflection symmetry. Such a line or plane is represented by M. Such a line which divides the lattice, such a line in two dimensions or a plane in three dimensions is represented by M, which divides the lattice into two identical parts which are mirror images of each other. The reflection symmetry of notched wheel is shown in figure, isn't it? So let us try to understand the meaning of reflection symmetry with the help of a notched wheel. Considering reflection with allowed rotation, we have two possibilities, isn't it? So let us combine reflection with rotation. Simple rotation, reflection. So there are two possibilities. So rotation with reflection, rotation without reflection, isn't it? Simple rotation without reflection and rotation with reflection. Rotation and reflection at the same time, and only rotation without reflection. As there are five allowed rotation axes. Which are the five allowed rotation axes? One-fold rotation, two-fold rotation, three-fold rotation, four-fold rotation and six-fold rotation. These are the five allowed rotation axes. So there are 10 possibilities, isn't it? One-fold rotation without reflection, one-fold rotation with reflection, two-fold rotation without reflection, two-fold rotation with reflection. Similarly, three-fold rotation without reflection, three-fold rotation with reflection, four-fold rotation without reflection, four-fold rotation with reflection and six-fold rotation without reflection and six-fold rotation with reflection. So there are 10 combinations: 1 1m, 2 2mm, 3 3m, 4 4mm, 6 6mm. I have earlier explained M represents the plane or line which divides the lattice into two identical parts which are images of each other. Here represents the number or multiplicity of rotation axis. So one is simple rotation, isn't it? One is simple rotation after 360 degrees. 1m is one-fold rotation with reflection. 2 is two-fold rotation. 2mm is two-fold rotation with reflection. Here there are 2 mm. This 2 mm represent there are two planes or lines which divide the lattice into two identical parts which are mirror images of each other. Here the number represents type of rotation axis. Here the number represent type of rotation axis, isn't it? So 1 fold, 2 fold, 3 fold, 4 fold and 6 fold, isn't it? The first M represents a plane in 3 dimensions or a line in 2 dimensions parallel to rotation axis, isn't it? First M represents a plane in 3 dimensions or a line in 2 dimensions parallel to rotation axis, and second M represents a plane in 3 dimensions or a line in 2 dimensions perpendicular to rotation axis, which divide the crystal or lattice into 2 identical parts which are mirror images of each other. These 10 groups of symmetry operations are shown in figure. These 10 groups of symmetry operations are shown in figure. So in the first figure it is 1. It is 1 fold rotation without reflection. 1M, 1 fold rotation with reflection. Here a line is shown which divides the lattice into 2 identical parts which are mirror images of each other. Whereas in the previous figure, isn't it, 1 without M, you cannot divide that notched wheel into 2 identical parts which are mirror images of each other. Similarly 2, it is a 2-fold rotation without reflection. The last figure in the first row, isn't it, 2mm, here there is a 2-fold rotation. The lattice is repeating after 180 degrees, and there exist 2 lines, isn't it, 2 lines which divides the lattice into, which can divide the lattice into 2 identical parts which are mirror images of each other. Similarly 3, isn't it, which is a 3-fold rotation, rotation after 120 degrees. 3M, which is a 3-fold rotation with reflection. There exists a single line which can divide the wheel or lattice into 2 identical parts. Similarly 4, it is a 4-fold rotation, isn't it? Lattice repeats itself after a rotation through 90 degrees. Similarly 4mm, this is a 4-fold rotation with reflection, 4-fold rotation with reflection. Here there exist 2 lines which can divide the lattice, or 2 planes which can divide the lattice into 2 identical parts which are mirror images of each other, isn't it? So, and 6 and 6mm. In this way there are 10 possibilities or 10 combinations combining rotation as well as reflection. I suppose you understood the meaning of the numerals, the first M and the second M. Then inversion, isn't it? Inversion, last type of symmetry, which is inversion symmetry. It is a point operation which is applicable to 3-dimensional lattices only. It is a point operation which is applicable to, it is found in 3-dimensional lattices only. This symmetry element implies that for each point R relative to a lattice point, for any point R relative to certain lattice point has an identical point located at minus R related to same lattice point, isn't it? So, which is shown in the figure shown on the lower side, isn't it? So, in the fourth figure a inversion symmetry is shown. The symmetry element implies that for each point R relative to a lattice point has an identical point located at minus R relative to same lattice point. It means the lattice possesses center of inversion symmetry denoted by 1 complement, isn't it? So, the 4 types of symmetry operations, that is a translation symmetry, rotation symmetry, reflection symmetry and inversion symmetry are summarized in the figure given on the lower side. So, I suppose you have understood what is meant by the symmetry operations. In the today's lecture, we have studied what is meant by a symmetry operation. What are the types of symmetry operations? Translation symmetry, rotation symmetry, reflection symmetry and inversion symmetry. So, we come to the end of the video. Let us study the remaining articles in the subsequent next video. Thank you very much.